Hey, this is just Ben on the front end, here to tell you to give the podcast a rating if you don't mind, and follow it or subscribe to it on whatever you're listening to this on. If you want to send us an email, we'll read it and maybe talk about it on the show. It's deadensigns@gmail.com, and we got a Twitter. Anyway, if you could do all that, please. That'd be really nice. Bye, enjoy the show.
Simon & Schuster AudioWorks presents Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Would you join the Montael Crew?
The
fucked up thing you accidentally said a minute ago.
Yeah, the thing that I said a minute ago because
you meant to say Motley Crew.
Motley Crew.
Motley Crew.
Bontley Crew.
You were trying to think of the Motley Crew. You said Montael Crew, and we decided that sounds like a group of investment bankers that live in the Swiss Alps for 3/4 of the year.
Yeah,
that's fucked up. We're a third of the way through the year already.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it insane?
And we're still not part of the Montael Crew yet. It's fucked up, dude.
This is how this podcast is our in. Maybe that one or two views we get. It will it will be one of the Montael Crew guys.
It's gonna balloon. That we're gonna get into the Montael Crew. They're gonna invite us along to the Alps. Yeah. And they're gonna haze us.
Yeah.
Do their horrible hazing tricks. But once we're through the hazing, then we start hazing the others, and now it's fine.
Oh yeah, then it's fine. Yeah, exactly. It's
you know what I was saying?
It's a vicious cycle, but Can
I just say this is a slightly side thing, but I think it's also funny outside of just our friend group. Ash played Lethal Company with us last time for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you weren't here, obviously.
No.
They did the great bit where it's like, oh, hey, you know what, Ash, you're the first time. Why don't you go and deliver the things, sell the things at the counter?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Goes up, presses the button, and then they're like, oh, press it multiple times. You have to press it multiple times. Snicker, snicker, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
And then he gets eaten. And I thought afterwards, and I said it, it's like, people will talk about how the hazing rituals for fraternities and stuff are abhorrent, and then they start playing Lethal Company, and they're like, you know what, maybe I get it. You know what, maybe I get this practice now.
It's fun, yeah. Let's
Hey, the new guy doesn't know stuff. Let's do horrible things to him.
And I was disappointed I didn't get any clips out of that too.
I recorded it, but I forgot to clip some stuff. To be honest, there weren't too many clippable moments. We don't have to go into it though. That's too.
You didn't get you didn't get the cameraman Max and war correspondent Max.
There were some funny bits, but I'm not going to go into it because it's like, oh, and then this one thing happened when we were playing a video game. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the Montael Crew. What is the
Do you
hazing
think that
ritual?
Montael Crew plays Lethal Company?
Yes. Yeah.
And they play Among Us.
I think that's one of their yearly events. Is a big LAN party in the chalet that they spend time at. They have a big LAN party.
They for some reason they still have really old PCs there. They still haven't upgraded since the 90s.
It's about getting a retreat from the modern world.
Yeah.
Which means using old equipment and playing old stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Lethal Company.
And Lethal Company. Yeah, but what did you say?
Sure. So what's the hazing ritual you're least looking forward to from the Montael Crew?
From the Montael
when
Crew,
we get in.
It's when they do a wine enema. You know.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ, that's disgusting. I feel like that would actually, kill you.
No, be fine, okay?
I feel like the kind of fermentation and the acidity of wine will actually give you lesions on your anus or something.
It gives you
your colon with,
it gives you that auto brewing disease disorder thing
where
exactly. that's why the Montael Crew.
Oh my god.
That's
why they're all so fucked up.
Yeah, that's how you join, because they just
If you want to be in the Montael Crew, you need to have auto brewer's disease. You need to be fermenting everything you eat. and getting fucked up at all times.
This is my third liver transplant.
And we refuse to get it fixed.
Yeah, it's just like
It's part of the group.
It's part of the group. Yeah, that's my thing. What about yours?
I think I'm not looking forward to like when they make you ski naked.
Okay. And there is go on.
Like using a I don't want to say it, but using a sex toy. I'm not looking forward to that. It's just dangerous more than anything. It's just kind of like I don't want to do skiing like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm gonna hurt myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break my penis, which I know is kind of the point because all of the Montael Crew people have broken penises.
They all have their own all their penises are so crooked.
Here's the thing: there's nothing wrong with a crooked penis.
Absolutely not.
But the issue with the Montael Crew, they've all got like 3 notches in it.
Yeah, there's
it's like Harry Potter's fucking scar.
It's like a finger joint.
It's like a finger,
like a witch's finger.
Yeah. It's like a tree branch. It's all over the place. It's not nice. You don't want it. You don't want it. Makes everything very uncomfortable. Yeah.
You're sleeping,
up.
and it's like so fucked up when you're like asleep in your room. You know, they give you a room, and then you're like wake up in the middle of the night and you hear something scraping against the window. You look at you look and it looks like a tree branch, and then you realize it's all their penises. It's all their penises. You know,
it's the Montael Crew's fucking crooked tree branch penises.
And they go and then run away.
You've just been tree branched. And then they run off. Awful people. Why do we want to be in this group?
Because they're all like, I don't know, they all have
they're rich.
They're rich and they have like the nuclear bunkers in like New Zealand. They have all of the bunkers. They have access to all of the bunkers.
Yeah. I forgot about that fact that they have access to all of the bunkers.
Yeah.
Do you think any nukes are going to hit the Swiss Alps? I feel like the Swiss Alps are going to be clear.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a low target area.
Yeah, that's not a priority. I guess, right?
No. Plus, the water can be uncontaminated that way.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if the fallout is going to get the... I don't know why I said it that way.
The fallout, because you were thinking of the fallout.
I was thinking, like, immediately. I was going to start singing the "Crawl Out Through the Fallout, Back to Me" song, but I stopped myself. But then I did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but and it's all the gold is also there in this. They don't want to destroy the gold. Or whatever. They don't want Sierra Madre.
Yeah, trying to find a way to get it all out.
That's what happens. Everybody nukes everybody, and then they realize, wait a minute, all the survivors are like, all the gold in the Swiss Alps is like
gold.
Open to go. We can get it.
Yes, and they will start rushing for the Alps.
Yeah, exactly.
To get to the gold.
Alps rush Alps.
The Swiss rush.
Swiss. Oh, that's
the Montael
Swiss
rush. Montael rush.
Yeah, exactly. And the boys are already there. The Montael crew is already there.
The Montael crew, and they're fucked up. They're like super mutants.
They ate the gold basically.
They already ate the gold.
Yeah,
they didn't have any other food, and also they're stupid.
Yeah, but I don't know. I look forward to the apocalypse anyway. Then
it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I can see myself surviving a very long time, I would imagine, and then and my ideology can then thrive in the new world.
I think I'd have to accept
Montael Crew.
I think I'd have to accept the blast coming for me. I'd have to be like, yeah, just you know what, just take me. I can't be bothered with all that shit because it's not going to be an escapist fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like so annoying to live in a nuclear fallout apocalypse.
I watched Threads. It didn't look that bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen Threads, so I'll have to check it out.
What's the other animated British show? The animated one?
The fuck?
Yeah.
I
I
can't
don't
remember now. With the old people.
Yeah, with old people
The old couple.
slowly dying.
I can't remember, but if you know, email us. Like a good friend of ours emailed us this week.
Emailed us, I guess. He
Shut
DM'd
up,
us directly.
Shut up. Don't tell him that. Shut up. He emailed that we got an email from a fan of the show.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Little Ashley writes, only 8 years old. Hey, excuse me, sirs. Hey, I'm curious what you think the top 5 gadgets are and stuff.
Yeah. And it got me thinking about Star Trek and how it's not really that much of a, like a heavy gadget show. So
not a very gadget heavy show. By the way, they emailed us at deadensigns@gmail.com because this is the show Dead Ensigns. Currently Star Trek focused show where we talk about things. I'm Ben, this is Max.
This is me.
Mm-hmm.
And well,
tell me about your gadgets, your favorite Trek.
I tried to come up with 5.
Yeah.
But I only got 2.
I've got 5. I was struggling. I had 4, and then this week's Discovery gave me a 5th one, bro.
Oh no.
This week we'll lead into it. You go over your 2, I'll go over my 5.
Okay, yeah.
And then we'll get into the show itself. The episode proper.
For number one, it's the organ phaser from Voyager, the phage people had that that put Neelix in an ion lung. That's one of my favorite gadgets because it put Neelix in an ion lung. That's why it's
that's understandable.
Yeah,
that's understandable.
Yeah, and number 2.
Number 2? What's your number 2?
It's the mobile emitter, because it gave us a doctor that could wander around.
That's true.
Walk around. Yeah. And number 3, Barkley, but he's a Chad when he got replaced by the Ferengi Barkley. That's my gadget.
When he was a Chad. Oh my god, so true. So true.
Because technically, if you put him in a little device, he'd be a
if
gadget.
You think about
right?
it, the emergency doctor program, the emergency medical hologram is a gadget,
it's
right?
A gadget.
He is a gadget.
Go gadget EMS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
EMH.
EMH. Yeah.
M.
S. What would the S? The M. Emerging
Science,
medical.
I guess.
Sex.
I don't know. Number 1 for me.
Yeah.
Holodeck.
Oh, God.
Number 2, the spaceships. Number 3, the hollow emitters, like you said, because you can make like the fucking greatest, best fucking baddie in the world in the holodeck. Slap that shit on her arm. Now she's coming with you.
Yeah, now she's going to my quarters.
Now we don't have to have sex in the Swiss chalet in the Alps.
Yeah.
Now we can have sex in my quarters on the ship. A much less boring location, but I'm familiar and comfortable with it. So I find it easier to let my guard down.
Yeah. Because you were trying to do computer replicate my quarters in the holodeck, but you knew deep inside that it was your room.
No, this isn't real. It doesn't smell like my room. It doesn't have the funk.
The bin full of tissues. Tissues.
Come on.
Yeah. You give it a nice aroma.
Yeah. A musk.
Number 4,
nice
my 4th gadget is the bin with all the tissues that it was in my quarters. If I was
my number 4, Picard's heart. His robot heart. Without it, we wouldn't have Picard. Shouts out to Picard's robot heart.
Yeah.
Favorite gadget. I keep bumping my little thing. It's annoying. I don't know why. You stop recording for like 1 week, and then look at
all of it is done. We're done.
All the muscle memory. All right, and then number 5, a new addition, the time bug.
No, my number 5 is Barash's planet, Hollow Cave. There you go.
Yeah, Barash's Hollow Cave. That's not really a gadget because the planet itself was like was a hollow graphic thing. I don't know. The time bug is my number 5 because this shit's insane, dude. I don't understand why this isn't a bigger problem.
I know. I also
This is like
reacted to that. I was like, this is fucked up.
This is like the scariest weapon in the world, man. What do you what do you mean? No, they got us with a time bug. Yeah, we're basically going to be temporally out of sync for like an indefinite amount of time. And luckily, we know it because we happened to transport right as it started. If we hadn't, we would have been fucked. Basically, we basically would have been completely and utterly fucked.
You were literally stuck in purgatory.
Yeah, pretty much. You have to relive all the horrid things that happen.
Yeah, and it was also, it would be funny if it was like, all of them were just like normal days. They were just like normal, like, run-of-the-mill days.
There were very few normal days that they experienced. A lot of notable moments in this episode.
Yeah, of course.
Where it's like, really, you don't just go to a time when it's like, we're traveling between places for like a day. So nobody's really doing anything. I guess because then that would be too easy to solve the problem during that time. If they had that moment. But you know how it is. The time bug. Discovery Season 5, Episode 4. This episode was called, let me, hold on.
In Time.
Wait a second.
Quantum Leap.
Just in Time.
Justin
Timberlake movie where they trade
in time
that I call Just
and
in
it
Time,
has,
even though it's not called that. Face
called?
the Strange. Why is this episode called Face the Strange?
Yeah, that I actually just when you mentioned, I was like, why is it called that? But
Face the Strange.
it had Oppenheimer just in time. He was the evil cop, I think, in that movie. Right?
I don't know. I think I saw like the first 20 minutes of that movie when it
just in time
came out, and then I was like, "This movie's shit," so I stopped watching. I don't know. I didn't watch the whole movie because it was boring. It was not a good movie.
What do you mean? You just stop? Fuck. Is it not called Just in Time?
No, it's not called Just in Time.
It's called In Time,
yeah,
I think.
I know. I call it Just in Time because it's funnier.
So you lied to our audience.
Yes.
No, for the sake of comedy, what are we willing to do? Yeah, Cillian Murphy is in it.
All right.
My Star Trek gadget is the timer from In Time.
That's my favorite Star Trek gadget. Ash is gonna finally get to this episode after like a month, and he's gonna be like, "Man, they answered my question so facetiously."
No, we love Ash.
Bad.
We love
you, Ash.
Ash is the best.
The answer is
if I had
answering questions, and
if
2,
you needed.
Star Trek isn't very a heavy gadget show. It's like everything they show is like very specific. You know?
Yeah. Like they just use the fucking what are they called? The beep 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 beep. What are they called? The fucking tricorders, and that's it. You know.
Like you got like the 2 obvious ones. The fucking super advanced medical things that they have.
Yeah.
And the replicators. Outside of that, it's like, I don't know, man, a phaser? What am I going to do with a phaser?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I know. Because a lot of it is like...
Now it's the time bug.
Each guy has like... Each species will have like their own tricorder, their own phaser. Yeah. Do they count as separate gadgets? Not really, because they all kind of are the same. You know, they kill you.
Pretty much. But we don't need to focus on this. The episode itself, though, boy, what an episode! I don't know. This episode was entertaining, but not a lot happened in it to talk about.
Yeah,
it was a bit more of like just a nothing format. You know, there's a problem. They have to deal with the problem. If they don't deal with the problem, and they fail the mission. The overarching plot of we have to get the progenitor technology before the 2 idiots do. Yeah. The 2 idiots, though, put basically the strongest thing in the world on the ship secretly and incredibly covertly. It's like, man, why? I don't know. I don't get why this thing isn't like... There should be specific systems for keeping this shit off of your ship. Especially if you're running like one of the most important ships in the Enterprise. You're like, oh yeah, this super covert, ultra sneaky thing. It literally like melts into things and is completely untraceable.
Yeah. And it's the thing is that like the Discovery still hasn't updated their their transporter like filters for like any of the new stuff. They still run like the early Federation filters, and that like they could pick up maybe the common cold, but like anything else just goes right through it.
Any other tiny little robot? Question mark?
Yeah.
Programmable matter thing, I guess, that locks you into Slaughterhouse 5.
Yeah, literally. You're right. It is literally.
And also, like, you have the potential to actually change time with it too. Like, it's actually sending you back in time.
Yeah, I was like, wouldn't that? Imagine if that was like a really risky weapon to use. You know?
It's fucked up,
because
dude.
wait,
technically
could do
anything. You could fuck up absolutely everything.
Because so they can change time. Discovery doesn't bring the Federation back. The girl would kill herself, basically. Because then the planet wouldn't get destroyed by the guys, or maybe it would.
Everything would have gotten destroyed.
Yeah,
by those
exactly.
Guys.
They could have. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, they don't focus on that. They mentioned the burn a couple times. They're like, the burn wouldn't have been solved.
Yeah, exactly.
If we didn't come into the future. I don't know. The burn problem wasn't. I mean, we don't have to talk about the burn. Let's move on. Yeah, so this episode is very straightforward. Its main focus is on building the relationship of Burnham and Rayner, similar to what I said last time. Rayner's thing is so that they can go, see, look, it's important that everybody acts like they're in the office. Yeah,
connection is important.
It's why they're all so good at their job, is because they hang out and they just talk about stuff, you know? Yeah. Not in any particularly interesting or character development way. They just kind of hang out and go like, oh my god, dude, I freaking love science. Me too.
They talk about how they love ships and they love the curves or whatever, you know.
Yeah, they talk about how cake is eternal.
Cake is eternal. And maths is awesome. And stuff,
maths, I love maths.
Maths is just so
all this great characterization and development they have together. It's all great stuff. And Rayner's like raining. Yeah, he's raining on their parade.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a bit of a rainer on their parade.
He's a bit of a dark cloud of rain.
He is indeed, because he's coming along and people on the bridge are like, what if Locke and Mala are getting like coffee or something at the moment? Maybe they're getting coffee. Maybe they're at a Starbucks right now.
And he's that's speculation.
Yeah, he's like, why? I don't know. I don't know. Also, that's not an idea. What do you mean they're at Starbucks? and then Burnham
is
him
like, he's like, why are you shutting his ideas down?
Holes in his head.
Yeah,
like you do not talk to my bridge crew like that. They are all special, amazing individuals, and you are trying to poo-poo on their ideas. It's important that we hear everybody's ideas. Okay, and then Rayner is like, harumph. I disagree. I think it's better when nobody's friends. I think the system is better when basically only I make the decisions.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone is a disposable drone to me. Yeah.
And that's the way it makes sense, and that's good. And then Burnham is like, oh, you wait and see. Oh, you wait and see.
I'll show you.
But like the end of last episode, Adira got a little bug put on them, and they went back onto the ship, and there was no sensor to pick up this tiny bug or anything, as it turned into liquid and faded around, completely invisible to everybody.
Yeah.
It was also like a bug in that I think they could listen through it.
Yeah, maybe. It just had a beacon, I think, on it. But the thing is that, like, I was like,
that's it.
It was. I guess it's like a cloaking technology. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's just like. Because it is from the temporal war. That's why I said it's like a remnants of temporal war, like technology.
That shit that happened 500 years.
Yeah, And
maybe
I was
like 300 years before this, and I'm like, really, you guys don't have like a way to
to
shield
pick up
from
any of
this?
Yeah.
You didn't retrofit that. This kind of just slipped your mind the idea of like the most fucked up.
You know what they say, you know, history repeats itself, you know.
That's true.
And
Time is a
that's
flat
the
circle.
moral of this episode. And but I was like, why don't you just have like a fucking little nuke in him and just explode inside the ship?
Yeah, I mean that'd do it too, right?
Yeah, I know.
Like, why don't you just have that little bug go and fade into the warp core and explode?
Explode? Or
It probably the warp cores are really sensitive. You probably don't even have to do much. Just like have a little bug that drills a hole into the casing and then it blows up.
Yeah, well, like just it ejects the warp core or something, so you can then salvage the ship afterwards if you need it or something like that. You know, like
but it's like no. Instead, this tiny bug is going to lock you into temporal phage or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
and nobody's gonna know as well. Everybody in there is just reliving different moments, jumping through time, mentally? Question mark. Physically? Question mark.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
anyway, this bug, Stamets sees it and he's like, oh, that's weird. What the hell is that little bug? And then it activates. Burnham and Raynor, because they're having an argument, there's a red alert. They're like, oh, something's happening with the ship. They try and teleport back to the bridge. Gets all fucked up. They're still in the ready room. But everything's different now. Whoa, what the hell? Stardate. Oh my god, wait a minute. This is... no, they go to the bridge and they look out the window and everybody, including people that aren't supposed to be there, are asleep on the floor.
Yeah.
And they're in warp and they're in a wormhole and they're following the Red Angel.
The Rain Angel, yeah.
Burnham, the Red Angel. And they're like, oh my god, we've gone back in time.
Yeah. Your favorite season? I don't remember what season that was.
When did they finish the end of season 2?
Yeah.
Leading into season 3.
Yeah. When they jumped the time, quantum leaped. But and she tells him that it's like, oh, I guess they were moving in time and stuff. And
they reset again, and every time it happens, they teleport back to the ready room where they were when they tried to teleport away. That's the episode. They have to find a way out of this weird time jumping thing.
Yeah, and.
Stamets is also Stamets because he has tardigrade DNA. Apparently exists outside of time.
Yeah, because the tardigrades are so special. They can like have the fungal. I think they can use the fungal network or whatever too.
So he exists outside of time.
He exists in every universe in a way. I don't know, because that's what it's implying basically, right? That like.
But here's the thing, he doesn't get the same treatment as them. They get to exist separately to themselves in that time.
Yeah.
So everybody else in this episode, they become the person in that time, and if they don't exist, then I guess they just die for like 20 minutes. I don't know. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Like
Burnham
about
and Raynor keep going back to the same place, and in fact, you meet other Burnhams and stuff.
Yeah.
So clearly... they exist separately of themselves, but Stamets keeps inhabiting where he was. He was. And if he died or isn't there, then he isn't there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like when there is a bit when they jump to the 30 years later or whatever, and the Federation is destroyed, and I was like, so what happened to Stamets? You know,
that's the thing.
They at
the end of that scene, that's what they say. At the end of that scene, they're like, let's hope we get a time where Stamets isn't dead.
No, okay.
And it's like. So what happened to him in this movie? Why is Stamets allowed to exist out of time, but still be constrained by the mechanics of the time bug? Burnham and Raynor aren't, because they just happened to press a button, and teleport, and they locked like a save point essentially.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's literally the only instance maybe I see of like. When the transport malfunction has caused something like technically positive to happen.
Yeah, this was good. It was only a transporter malfunction because of the time bug. It's not
because of the time bug. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But it's like you. Every single time we get a transporter, like something happens in the transport, it's like we get fucking Tuvix. Yeah. We get
That weird bug that attacked Barkley.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we get Scotty, and no, that wasn't an accident. Honestly, he
No,
did it on
that was
purpose.
intentional.
That
Yeah,
he intentionally did that. But you get the fucking guy from the prototype from Enterprise, where he's a literal like revenant, like he's a ghost in like temporal ghost, and he's in constant pain.
One of the few times where they're like, "Oh, transport error." Oh wait, it made like a checkpoint for us, like a video game.
Yeah, like a video game.
Now we're stuck in a time loop.
The little emulator save point, you know?
Yeah. They just rewind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like Braid, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a Braid reference.
Press a button, you go, "Ooh," he goes back.
I like the little...
Whoa, he goes back.
Yeah, I like the little bit in Jet Reno where she goes to
couple
Stamets.
Jet Reno moments.
Yeah, Jet
Reno fights and saves Reno.
Yeah,
and then Jet Reno
he's kind of like
jokes
he's
around
a little bit
with...
like into.
I think
like,
though. I think the implication was kind of like they were both a bit like.
Okay.
We're both. I guess it makes sense. They're both kind of like, you know, grumpy, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and
that's about it. But
and similar track, equal tracks, right? Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, they go on quite the wacky adventure. There's a point where they go forward 30 years, and the ship's all fucked up, and but luckily life supports are still on.
Yeah.
Burnham and Rayno walk to the bridge, and they talk to the Zora, the ship AI that they made. And she's like, "What the fuck? Didn't you guys die?
Yeah.
What's going on?" And then they're like, "We're locked in a temporal stupid time bug thing." And she's like, "Oh, I remember the time bug. Yeah, it made it so that we basically were out of commission for months, and the two idiots got all of the pieces, and then the Breen got hold of the progenitor technology, and everybody died, and everything is bad and terrible. And it's
always
like
blame the Breen whenever anything bad happens."
Yeah, no, the Breen are incapable of peace. Assholes.
Yeah.
We haven't even seen the Breen in this show.
I'm
They've mentioned them like 3-4 times.
We'll have like a design, because they did have a design in DS9. You know, they were like
they had
guys
like the
in
helmets, and suits.
Yeah,
but that made me question. So it's like, is this version of Burnham and Rayno that got stuck, or rather that are aware? Is this unique? Like, is there a version in which they didn't, and that's where they are in the moment?
What do you mean, like in?
Well, because it's like they only end up. Yeah, they only end up there in the bad future.
Yeah,
because they couldn't save the day, and the only reason they wouldn't have been able to save the day is if they didn't get locked by the transport thing, right?
Yeah.
So. Don't worry about it, I guess.
I guess
the idea is don't worry about it.
Stupid. As soon as you
it's time travel,
time travel stuff, and like the only explanation I can think of is that Zora had because she was able to like calculate the constant of like how often they shift, I think, or something like that, and that's so they technically were able to get out of the situation by getting information from the future. So then the future didn't happen because the future did, collapsed.
You know what? You don't worry about
whatever it doesn't. That's like but
to cut a long story short, they talked as they find Stamets. They work out a plan. There's a couple snags along the way. They run into Burnham fresh off of the prison boat.
She's angry.
She's like, "I gotta prove myself by killing this clone version of me." They run into that robot lady who died, and I love Burnham's way of like getting through to her. Like, it's really me from the future. I can tell you how you die. You nobly sacrifice yourself for Starfleet, and everybody's like, "That we would never let that happen." And the robot is like, "No, I believe her because I would." And it's I feel like that would work on every Starfleet officer.
Like, exactly.
I know you die in like 1.5 years. You're gonna kill yourself to defend Starfleet. Yeah, and they're gonna go like, "Fuck, that is totally what I would do."
Yeah,
that no other member of Starfleet would kill themselves.
Here's the keys to my car,
except for me. Here's my wife. You have to fuck her to save the universe. Here, please, honey, please. He has to do it.
And in general, like all of the like. Like, I don't know. Like, I
it's
feel like
a decently entertaining episode at the end of the day.
all the sort of, like, they're trying to, like, as we were talking about, like, they're so heavily, like, it's so heavy-handed, like, this idea of, like, oh, this crew is so close.
And look
But
how far our characters have come. Remember when Burnham was afraid to be a captain in the first season? And now she's the captain for the last 3 seasons. Isn't that crazy?
You
It's
look
like,
good in
guys.
red, that lizard guy.
Yeah.
Season, yeah.
I guess that lizard is, like, gay. I feel like they've been making him feel more gay the last couple seasons.
He's like a lizard. He's like, he lays eggs and stuff.
No, I know, but you not get the vibe of, like, I feel like they're trying to make him a little bit, like, you know... It's just a bit more. I feel like they were like... This lizard is just... We don't,
is that what you're saying?
I've been getting a vibe the last couple, like, maybe, like... 4 or 5 episodes. Maybe it's just this season that they're trying to make him seem a bit more quick or a little bit more, you know, a little more gay.
But points his gaydar at the lizard guy.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm talking about.
There's a bit of a movement there. But yeah, I can get it. I can pick it.
I mean, they definitely... I mean, when he was talking to Raynor, his big thing was like, oh, my species actually is like, we reproduce asexually and stuff.
Yeah.
And now in this episode, he was very fruity. You have to admit, he was very fruity. He wasn't just like, oh, you look better in red. He like, you know, he like curled like fucking Bela Lugosi's hand onto her shoulder. It's like, red is really good on you.
He did do that, yes.
And then he like
I
fucking
do agree.
skipped away, you know. I'm just getting a vibe though. They would like try to shift this lizard's direction.
The directors, they're just like, could you play a little bit?
Let's do that one again, but a bit more, you know. And then he like limps his wrist. You know, can we do that one again? Do that. Let's do another take, but a little more, you know, like a little more, you know, a little more, ooh, that kind of.
They were trying to do something new, you know, where like lizards are always like tough, you know. And I was like,
it's the antidote for all the terrible stuff they're doing with the Gorn.
Of course,
How they're making them scary and monsters and
positive
stuff.
Lizard representation and
let's get some positive queer lizard representation in Star Trek, please. I think we're long overdue. Anyway, that's just my own little thing. We'll see. Maybe he'll do more fruity stuff in the future.
Yeah, more. We're looking forward to more. But so she like she just does like a bunch of fucking easy.
They come up with a plan.
Checks.
They make a device. Turns out the thing has a like a temporal defense thing where it's like. If you get close to it, the area around it is actually sped up time, so everything's age and degrade really quickly. Yeah. But if we do some stupid thing with the ship, then it'll make that fine.
If we fall out of the warp bubble as we put the thing on, basically. So that
should fix it, and it did.
The constant between the jumps was the fact that like they were traveling at warp, I think, in every single one of them, or something like that.
Yeah, they were always... No, they weren't always traveling, because one of them, they were in the middle of a war.
Yeah.
But I think there was something about how...
speed or something like that.
I think the ship started to go into temporal bullshit when they started going into warp, so it did some... Either way, it's a bunch of bullshit. They figure out the problem. You know how it goes. They figure out... They use... sci-fi bullshit to come up with a
wave their
solution.
tricorders around and go like, oh, the take on
We don't... You know what?
High.
Thinking about it, They never wave their tricorders around anymore, do they? They just work stuff out. They just think about it. They never get any data nowadays. They just look at it and they go, here's the situation. Maybe if we do this, and then it works. Do you think it's because it's one of those things where they're like, oh, people think that looks too hokey and hacky and stuff when they have their little things and they wave them around?
I don't know. I feel like it grounds the world a little bit better, honestly.
I agree, but I feel like it's one of those things I could see, at least for a prestige TV type show.
I don't
them
know.
looking at it and going, that just feels
Yeah,
a little too, that's a little too, like, hokey. Everybody jokes about these guys, scientists waving their thing around. They don't need to do that.
I don't. Yeah, I feel like that's something
Let's
that
just
will
have
probably
them
be said,
work
but
it out.
But
in
yeah,
their
that's
head.
so stupid because it's like it gives you like writers tools to like work with and stuff like that when you have a crew with tools and stuff, you know.
It's a nice, easy way out of a solution. How would they know all of these data and figures? Well, they have a magic computer that they
have a tricorder, or like, and
it
or
tells
if you
them
want to
everything
make,
they need to know.
if you want them to fucking raise the difficulty, break their tricorders or something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
You know,
You have so many
but
different.
here it's like
solutions.
you can't do either because they're just. Well, yeah, I can just figure this out in my
Yeah, they just
head.
work it out. They just go, what do we know that's happening? It seems like we're getting Slaughterhouse 5'd right now. It seems like we're doing the Children's Crusade. So
Yeah.
I think this episode was written by a Mr. Kurt Vonnegut. Anyway, enough of that. And then they go, okay, well, let's say a bunch of stuff, and then it'll probably be correct. And then it is correct, and they save the day.
Yeah.
They do save the day. We get to see Raynor has a better understanding of, like, oh, connection is important, because I was able to convince past Burnham to trust me from what current Burnham told me in confidence.
No, it wasn't even... Yeah, it was that, and also there was another guy there, and he was like...
Well, yeah, he was like, you
know...
love starships. You love this one specifically. And he's like, damn, he's right. I do love that one.
That one specifically.
He would only know that if I told him.
Yeah, I feel like it's such a, like... I don't know, fucking someone go... Like, that's what the point I was trying to talk about before. It's like all these things that they think that is, like, so, like, personal... seem so impersonal.
They're very,
like,
they're a little shallow. They're
very
bit, like,
shallow. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like private details, but not like crazy enough that it's like people would keep this hidden.
I feel like a skilled spy would be able to get this information out, you know?
Any
like,
Section 32 officer.
Like 32, yeah, 32, yeah. Even more secret than Section 31.
I forget, dude. It's a fucking arbitrary number that doesn't mean anything. Anyway.
Or would it be worse?
The whole point of the episode is supposed to be, look, Burnham proves to Raynor that connection to your crew is important in specific situations like this, where you need to convince them that the insane thing you're doing is the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And also Stamets is that.
Yeah, honestly, do you think if I like appeared in your life like suddenly and I was like wearing like a weird like uniform and I was like, Ben, you need to give me all of your money from your bank account right now because I need to save the world, would you do it?
Here's the one of two ways it could go. Either A, it's true, and you are you from the future, and you do need my help, or B, I'm just leaning into the schizophrenia, and hopefully somebody will just notice and get me some help, and then it'll all be okay. So really, it sounds like a win-win scenario.
Yeah. Someone will notice.
Somebody will be like, you took out all of your bank account money and wired it to nobody?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Max from the future told me. And then they'd be like, okay, and they're pressing a little silent button to their desk.
Like, let's just,
you need to come with these people quickly if you don't mind.
Can you draw inside these lines? Can you color inside these lines while we just wait a second while I sort this out for you? You know? But yeah, I feel like though.
It's an okay episode. It's more entertaining than the first three, that's for sure, because it's like, oh, there's a problem they have to deal with that isn't like completely boring. Oh, we have to go and get this secret treasure, or oh, there's a stupid security system on the planet.
And
it's
another
there's a big fucking sand avalanche that we caused that we have to deal with. Time for some action. It's like, here's some weird sci-fi thing they have to deal with. Even if the time bug itself seems insanely powerful for something that they're just like Rainer is just like, they're talking about what's happening and they go, he like slaps his forehead. He's like, oh, it's
yeah,
a time
those things,
bug. I
yeah.
forgot the
My
time
great
bug. You guys
Pop-Pop
don't know
told
about
me about them, yeah.
You guys don't know about the time bug. The time bug is a black market weapon from the Temporal War that basically is completely like you can't see it. It's like it can basically turn into an invisible little liquid that blends into anything.
Yeah.
And it sneaks its way because it's actually like a spider shape for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaks its
Yeah,
way
exactly.
to
Why
like
is it
the
spider?
warp drive,
Yeah.
attaches to it, and then basically puts everybody into a temporal phage.
Yeah,
and
they
they
could
go
have-
back and forth to.
They
random
could have
points in time.
planted it on the Federation headquarters and just get the entire Federation into a fucking...
Like,
I guess
yeah,
you
they
need to
could've
be able to
done- I don't
travel.
understand. I don't understand why more people aren't using this. This is like the most powerful thing in the world.
Yeah.
The only
Well.
reason I can think of why people wouldn't use this more often is because, like, there's some kind of system for detecting them. But evidently there isn't.
Yeah.
Evidently somebody can just start it up and then you have to deal with it, assuming you're even conscious of it happening. Because it's like, if it starts happening, you're not even conscious of it. You're jumping around to all these different time points, inhabiting the mind of the version of you that exists in that time.
Yeah, and it would literally just be
You'd get stuck until
Adira,
somebody comes along and
they
fixes it.
said, I woke up and 6 hours passed. Or
I
something
blinked.
like that.
I
Yeah,
blinked.
yeah,
Literally was like, oh, we stopped being in phage, and I looked at the time, and fucking 6 hours had passed.
Yeah.
It's like,
So
it's
it's
fucking good thing that Burnham and Raina happened to press that teleporter button right then.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
exactly.
they'd be fucked.
Yeah, but yeah, it's
It's a little
at least
silly,
it
but at
was
the
a-
same time, yeah, it's entertaining. So
At
what
least it
can
was
you do?
entertaining. But
And they're
another
back on the
important, another important section is Burnham goes to her quarters and Book is there, and they go like, "Oh, I love you." Book,
Yeah, she
because
gets
it's from
to
the time when they were
remember.
together.
Oh yeah, she gets to remember. Oh yeah, I loved this guy. I forgot because we didn't speak for a year, so I kind
Yeah,
of forgot. I kind
'cause-
of forgot I was in love with him, and he was
Yeah.
in love with me. And
I
and
forgot
we're
that,
different
yeah.
now. We're both
And
different now.
it only took for him to say "I love you" for me to just rekindle my
And
love
also for him to
immediately.
have his damn shirt on. Am I
Yeah,
right, brother?
man,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
What a physically fit man.
Exactly.
I can't blame her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's easy to no. It's all like implants. He gets like those like plastic like
You think
abs.
so?
That
What
just-
if it was just like he was actually really out of shape for his species, but it just so happened that his species out of shape looks like our species in shape?
But it's the
Be
opposite when they're
interesting.
in shape, so they look out of shape when they're in shape. Is that what you're saying? So
Yeah.
he was just
well, not
extremely
necessarily that.
malnourished.
Not necessarily that. Like somebody in shape in their species looks out of shape for us, but it just looks different.
Oh, okay.
You know, maybe they've got like really, really big legs when they're in shape, and their arms turn into like little twigs.
Their head gets really big when they're
Yeah,
in
their
shape.
head gets bigger and bigger when they're in shape because they have this weird psychic power. So maybe,
Oh yeah, of course.
maybe their brain gets bigger and more bulbous,
Where do you work out?
and their
In
body
the
becomes
library?
like more thin and malnourished because all of the energy is going to their head. But
And then they float
Book
around.
is like stupid, and his powers are really weak. So he's
Really.
like, I have to be physically fit.
Good thing that his planet got destroyed, so nobody can tell anybody.
Yeah,
that.
now nobody will ever know. He changes all
but-
the records
yeah.
that are left. Like, I was like a prime specimen of my people.
Yeah,
actually, I was
what
actually
you
like
don't
the hottest guy
realize,
in the-
you know,
in my whole
because
planet.
Book was like on the planet when it was being destroyed. What you don't realize, what they didn't show in the show, is him shooting down the refugees trying to escape. You know,
only me.
that's what he was saying.
Be interesting. Dude. I don't know why hasn't a sci-fi series done that? Like a species that's like they all come to our planet because it just so happens that what's not attractive on their planet is actually incredibly attractive on our planet.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
So it's like
It's
they don't
probably
even have
like-
to try to remain physically fit. They can just like continue
Yeah.
living the like sedentary life they were on their planet, but
Mhm.
now also they're in a space where they're incredibly attractive.
Yeah, they're like those guys that go to like Eastern Europe and they try to like get themselves all like bride, like a
what are they
mail-in
called?
bride,
like passport bros or something.
or something like that. Yeah, green card guys or whatever, or something like that.
I
It
feel
would be
it's
like the alien
passport
version.
something.
Yeah.
They post online about how like I don't understand why guys aren't going to Eastern Europe more. This waitress said that she hoped I was having a nice day. She clearly wants to marry me.
Yes, and I could provide her with many green cards and get into the country.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not going to do that because in the end, I treat women like trash.
Yeah.
So
And also, she was already married anyway. Already living like a fine life anyway. But it's like, yeah.
But you know, it was a fine episode and cool gadgets, cool gadget,
great gadgets, the time bug. The robot lady came back, and it sounded like her
She
ADR
wanted to
was
die.
even worse than before.
Yes,
That did not sound like it synced up properly whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Also, didn't look right. I can't remember if she looked better or worse before, but
I feel like her mouth didn't look like it was even opening. Like there was like no opening in the mask that they put on her head.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it was so weird. Like
It was
I did like
strange.
notice that it was like she just looked really strange in this. They
Yeah,
had to like
something was off.
bring out all the like prosthetics that
Well,
already
luckily,
rotted.
she's the only person who would die to save all of Starfleet, so Burnham could convince her that it was
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah. And the fucking like
I
the
love that, dude. What great reason. Everybody's like, no, we wouldn't let that happen. We would find a different way. And then she turns and is like, no, I would totally kill myself as Starfleet. And they're all like, fuck, I could never.
this show
I would
is so
never kill
fucking
myself as
stupid.
Starfleet.
The more
It's
like
stupid.
they just
At least
like
this
they-
episode was mildly entertaining,
No.
but it's not a very good show.
I'm just thinking about like the idea of like, oh, they had the super intelligence, right? The super AI that wanted to destroy the world, and then it got combined with the computer on the ship, and you got, what is she called? Oh, it's the
Zora.
robot Zora, and it's like barely a character. It's like it's all
you
of this
thought they'd do
ordeal
more
to
with her, but they
Yeah.
don't. Last season they had the whole storyline of like, we're gonna turn her off, we're gonna switch her off, because you're not supposed to have like an AI ship or something. I can't remember what the reason was, but then luckily Adira and I think Gray and Stamets all came along and said, "But she's nice, but she's nicey."
She puts on,
but she's
what's it
oomphy.
She
She's
puts movies on
oomphy.
that on public domain.
She puts on public domain movies. She's oomphy, dude. She's oomphy.
Yeah, exactly.
So they
it's
keep
like
her around.
nothing happens.
And then they
But-
don't use her ever again. Every now and then they say, "Zora, can you bring up a? Can you replicate me a bean burrito?" Yes, right away. Here you go. Or no, people wouldn't even have to ask. They would just get a bean burrito, and they'd be like, "Zora, how did you know?"
Yeah, you're so
And she was like,
close to
"You
the
spent
crew.
5 months straight ordering a bean burrito at this exact time."
I just teleported into your stomach.
In fact,
It's
you don't even
inside
have
you
to
right
chew.
now.
Just feeling like your stomach immediately expands to the size of like a full unchewed burrito. Just like, I'm gonna be sick. I would advise you not to vomit. The entire bean burrito is undigested in your stomach and would most likely get clogged inside your digestive tract.
Yeah, it would get clogged in your fucking throat as you were trying to throw it up. But yeah, a thing that I wanted to mention is, all right, so we have the progenitors, TNG stuff. Kind of just like a side thing, honestly. We got temporal war brought up.
That's driving the narrative, dude.
I'm just saying in TNG it was just like a
Oh,
one
right,
of like
in TNG
you know.
it's like, oh, it's a big mystery, and then at the end it's like, one, so ultimately nothing, and two, against the ideas that all of the other people are like center their ideologies around, that they're like, nah, bullshit, actually, fuck this. I'm out of here.
And
this is stupid, actually, there's no way, bye.
you have the temporal war
Mhm.
brought up
Yeah.
as like a topic.
Yeah.
You have the
Voyager.
Breen.
I mean Enterprise.
You have the Enterprise. You have the Breen. You have
DS9.
the like DS9 references.
Yeah.
And I was thinking,
Where's the Voyager?
could we predict something that was going to come up as like a small, like a side? It was like a small idea in one of the series. What could be brought up in these next episodes? What else? And probably the next guy, it's going to be probably some guy that was involved in like the Khan project or something like that, and he worked on the progenitor tech or something like that. I feel like that's going to be a thing.
Zora experiences problem.
Mental health issues. Zora.
Zora has imposter syndrome.
Zora has imposter syndrome. That's like always sunny title card
and Hugh is hurt, so he can't heal himself, and they're like, we need to do something, and they're like, they get out an old file, whoosh, blow the dust off of it, plug it in, out comes not the EMH, but an EMH. And they go, I am an emergency medical hologram. What do you need?
It's
Kill this
old,
guy. It's like, I don't know. It's not Andy Dick either.
It's Andy Dick.
I bring Andy Dick back. No, it's not Andy Dick. It's not...
that one got scrapped immediately.
Yeah. Tell you what, you know what? It's Scott Adsit. It's Scott Adsit. Because he kind of looks like the Voyager Doctor anyway.
I guess, yeah.
And he's like a minor enough guy that you could be like... Just get him in there. I don't know why he just feels perfect for being like a knockoff. Oh, we need an EMH for like 3 minutes in an episode. Small cameo. I'm sending you a picture of Scott Adsit. See what I mean?
That's a beautiful man right there.
He's funny, man. I like Scott Adsit.
Yeah, I like him.
He's in Mr. Show and shit. You know, he's 30.
He is. Yes. But yeah. So
that's my
predicting
prediction.
The EMH to
EMH
pop up.
cameo.
I'm predicting that. What did I say?
You said something about Khan.
Yeah, I said that like one of the guys that worked on the progenitor tech was involved in like the Khan research or something, genetic warfare of some kind or whatever.
Timeline wise, here's the thing: I'm not saying no because the show will do whatever. I don't think they care. But 2, that doesn't make. What do you mean they're involved in the Khan thing? What do you mean a guy
like
involved in the Khan thing?
Genetic,
but a progenitor,
progenitor
guy?
Yeah. Like no, like one of the scientists that was involved. You know, like the guy who was inside that old lady.
Khan specifically, or just eugenics?
Just eugenics, basically.
Right, okay,
the gene projects, sure. Basically.
I feel like that's not a Star Trek enough specific thing.
Khan isn't Star Trek enough.
What?
Khan isn't Star Trek enough.
If it's specifically Khan, I get it, but it's like, why are they researching Khan like? They had to get happened.
They had to get someone that was involved in some sort of life-altering stuff to research the progenitor tech.
What you know what? The progenitor tech, they open it up, it's Khan in a tube. It's Khan in the tube again,
and it plays Khan the audio clip. God. It just opened it up in his Genesis project and like, fuck, we forgot about this.
It's Genesis project and a Khan in a cryo tube.
Oh fuck, we actually done like.
And they're like, why did we put these together? Like, we're like, is this a good idea? Zora, who are these people? Well, that's Khan, the guy that tried to kill a whole load of people with the Genesis project. Why'd they put these guys in the same room?
Something like of DS9. Do we want to the Breen? Maybe do you
I
think
was
we're
a
gonna
little
see Breen
bit
in this?
I think we'll see a Breen maybe. I was a little bit worried when they were like going through the wormhole and we weren't sure what was going on first. That I was like, are we gonna get the what is it called, the fucking
go on.
Avery Brooks's what do they call him? The
emissaries,
the emissary,
and like the power wraiths and stuff like that.
The emissary, the emissary comes in. And he's like, I can see your locked in a temporal phage. Also, hi, I'm Avery Brooks. Let me get you out of here.
Yeah, I'm actually no. The thing is that
Burnham's gonna go. I don't know who you are. Sorry, and Rayner is gonna go. I read about you at Starfleet. You were a Starfleet ship captain and commander of a space station, but also a religious icon.
Yeah. You're the guy from those riots, Bell's riots,
Yeah,
right?
Hey, aren't you the Bell Riots guy?
Bell riots guy.
Hold on a minute.
So stupid.
Hold on
But yeah. Yes,
yeah,
also,
I was
yes.
a little worried they were going to do that.
But it would
I
be
didn't think
Avery
they'd actually
Brooks,
do
where
it.
it would be like a 3D, like young Avery Brooks,
De-aged
because he
Avery
wouldn't come
Brooks.
back. Honestly, I don't know if he would come back.
Yeah.
Or they would get it would be a guy. It would be a black. They would get a black actor to just stand, like, you know, where you see the back of his head, and he has just hair, and he has the DS9 uniform, and then they get like
really funny.
That would have been like, I don't know what I would do, honestly.
And he's
I think
just
I would,
standing
like...
there against like a wormhole backdrop. Just like moving his hands around in like kind of a mysterious way, like he's in his mind palace.
Yeah.
And they're like, who is
What
that?
is that? Yeah, who could
I don't
that
know,
be?
Burnham. I don't know. And then at the end of the episode, like, I got a theory on who that mysterious figure we saw in the wormhole was. There was an old station commander turned captain during the Founders War. Or
The
whatever,
definitive,
Who fucking cares?
Yeah, whatever.
During the fucking whatever. And he turns out he was like a religious icon. He's like the god of wormholes.
And then they can bring
He's
up
like a wormhole god.
JPEG of him on the hologram screen, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Because he can't do anything about that, Avery Brooks.
Yeah, that's archival footage, baby. We don't
That's from
mention.
the episode.
I thought you were gonna say they do like a Star Trek 4 Morpheus thing where they're just like, "Oh, I'm not the original. I'm not the original Cisco. I'm a Cisco that was created by the wormhole when that Cisco died of old age."
Yeah.
Or some
Yeah.
bullshit.
I live in old time. Oh, they would always talk like that. The like the wormhole spirits. They would be like, "What is time?
Yeah.
Where am I?"
What? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
When?
Yeah.
And he's like, time is linear where I come from. Where I come from, time is a straight line. It's a flat circle.
Yes.
What do
It's
you
like
mean? Circle.
It's like putting too much air in a balloon.
It's a round shape, like this. And he makes a circle with his hands. He's like,
And it does the dotted line following his fingers.
and then they say, oh, like Pulp Fiction. Yes, exactly. Like Pulp Fiction.
We love Pulp Fiction in the war.
And then the wormhole aliens are like, but like Pulp Fiction, we do not experience time linearly. You see multiple points in time in the movie in a non-linear fashion.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's when Cisco got it. That's when he was like, like Pulp Fiction. Now we understand. And then they were like, by the way, we're also your mother. Or something.
Yeah.
Or your father?
Yeah. It was his mother. Because
Don't
he
worry
finally
about
goes to the desert and like...
Yeah.
Imagine, his dad had such a fucking good, like... Oh my god, he must have been so fucking, like, such a player that he pulled the fucking... Wormhole spirit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's because they knew they'd need him. They knew they'd need him. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
it was
what a
all
Star
right.
Trek.
We'll see.
Rebel Moon,
Another
Moon
thing
is out, and we're not going to talk about it for another, 8 episodes, by the way. Sorry.
And then it will be a
6,
big
I guess.
finale.
Episode 100, the final episode.
No,
Rebel Moon Part 2.
No, it will be a finale of Discovery is going to be
Yeah.
episode 100.
No, it's not.
That's it.
No, it's not.
Yeah?
Discovery is going to be episode 99.9, the finale.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 100 is Rebel Moon Part 2.
All right, then.
I don't want
that.
Discovery to be the 100 episode where we're talking about. Well, maybe. You know what? Let's play it by ear. We'll see how the finale goes. If the finale is interesting enough to talk about for a long enough amount of time, then maybe it will be 100.
Yeah.
But if it's a really boring, lukewarm send-off that is really sappy and emotional and like has too much action and is just boring as fuck, then that can be episode 99.9.
Look forward to see it. You will see that. You will know what the episode is going to be like.
Week after 99.8, you'll be on the edge of your seat, like, oh, am I going to see a 0.9 or a 100? Oh, baby.
Yeah. But I already seen the Rebel Moon 2, and I still don't know who Child's Fire or whatever, Child's on Fire or whatever it is.
Oh, this is the Scar.
I know, but
right?
I thought we would have actually found out who the Child on Fire is.
The Child of Fire is the kid of in the movie, the kid of the Child of the Fire, you know?
Ah, of course. Yeah.
Now you get it. Now it's like Pulp Fiction.
I get it. Pulp Fiction. But unlike Pulp Fiction, this movie is perfectly linear.
Yeah.
Because it's a very simple movie. It's a very simple story.
Don't shut up. We'll talk about it when we talk about it. Okay?
That's so bad.
We'll leave it. Just simmer on your thoughts.
Yeah, let's simmer. I'm going to have to watch it again.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I was sending you a thing like, oh man, or it's like, it's Zack Snyder's worst reviewed movie ever.
I know.
And you're like, I'm watching it this weekend, and I'm like, brother, we've still got like fucking 8 episodes of Discovery to get
I
through.
genuinely might genuinely might drink to get through it, because I wanted to do part 1 too. I was like masochistic enough that I was like, maybe I'll be strong enough, you know.
You.
Zack Snyder gives me his his toughest test.
Yeah. Would you say that you're Zack Snyder's strongest warrior then?
No, we know who that is. It's Ash.
Yeah,
Ash is the strongest warrior.
I'm Zack Snyder's, maybe not his strongest hater, but I feel like I'm up there maybe.
I'm his worm tongue. I'm like that.
more Atlas Shrugged, more Ayn Rand. Yes.
Farming is so cool. Put more slow motion over farming. Do it.
Great one theory. More great one theory.
All right, we're done.
What if Superman was Christ? You're very smart, Mr. Snyder. Yes.
What if he just shouted Martha?
You know, at the end of this zombie movie, the song Zombie by the Cranberries would be perfect.
It's in the title.
It's right there. It makes total sense. It makes you wonder, why hasn't anybody done this before?
Yeah.
Zombie,
Well.
zombie, zombie.
Well. All right. I
That's
guess
Discovery Season 5, Episode 4. The episode that... what was the fucking stupid title? Face the Strange. What the fuck does that mean?
What does it even
bro?
mean?
What do you mean, Face the Strange?
Well, we would have not got any of that shit. Remember when we were trying to figure out what these episodes are going to be about from the titles? Yeah. No way. No fucking way. We would have gotten it.
I honestly, at the end of the episode, I was thinking, this episode is probably just called Time Bug, to be honest. It's probably just called Time Bug, but it's Face the Strange. I'm Googling this first. Hold on, I want to see what other people said.
Oh, okay, we're getting the...
IMDb Episode 4 review. We got Den of Geek. Reject all. A twisty time loop offers a teachable moment for Commander Rayner as Discovery tumbles through its past and future. That's from Lacey Bauer. Burger? I don't know.
Burger.
What's your final review, Lacey? Give me the final thing. 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. All right,
4 out of
that's
5.
Pretty fucking high up there. Eh?
You liked it? What can you say?
Yeah, well,
Good for her. Hey, at least somebody did. Am I right?
someone has to, so they continue making these fucking shows so we can watch them.
Yeah. Where would we be without it?
I was thinking, have you actually news apparently Sony wants to buy Paramount. If that happens, maybe we'll get some games. Finally, Star Trek fucking games. Only like
finally,
6 years,
we played one
but
last year.
yeah, it'll be like in 6 years, but at least maybe something's gonna come up. You know?
Played one last year, and didn't they come out with like a 4X game like fucking
Oh yeah,
a couple months ago?
Yeah, they did. It didn't get reviewed that well, I'm pretty sure.
I don't care. I'm not gonna play it. So
Revengeance. What was it? Revengeance? What was it called? The
Resurgence.
Resurgence was good. It was
It was good. Yeah, it was a good story. It was fun. It was a good little Star Trek adventure. It was appropriate to the period that it was set in, the writing wise, you know, everything. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It was a little bit gay for all of those people who love lesbian women in it.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, there was some flirting between the big lady alien and the main character lady. You know,
yeah, I know.
the
We did
executive
stan.
officer.
We stan.
We ship. No, it's ship.
Oh, we ship. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what the kids say when
they didn't. We didn't see the penetration yet, so
we're waiting for the sequel, where our choices they evolve on our choices.
It's the sequel is called Ripping Holes. That's
Did that come out on Steam?
It's coming out soon, I think.
Star Trek Resurgence. Anyway, thanks for listening to Dead Ensigns, a Star Trek based,
more
Star
based,
Trek based podcast.
Based.
Where we're talking about Star Trek Discovery for the next probably another month and a bit, I guess. I think end of May is going to be when it.
What happens if it just never ends?
Well, you get to the end of the 10 episodes and they're just like, oh, here's the next 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then it just keeps going like that infinitely for the rest of the time.
That's how they worked around it. It's like they've cancelled the next season, but if we just never finish this one, then they have to.
I guess I would question the reality I exist in, because I don't think that's something that TV shows do. But hey, more Discovery means happy Ben. Speaking of Ben, I've been him, and this is Max.
This is me.
If you'd like to email us, like our lovely friend did for this episode, a question, or if you want to tell us what you thought about the time bug. Did you like the time bug? Maybe you did. Let us know, deadensigns@gmail.com. Or you can leave a comment on the YouTube, which is also where you can listen to the podcast, Dead Ensigns on YouTube. Outside of that, there's the regular avenues, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, yada, yada, yada. Give us a like if you can, and a follow, subscribe. All that stuff is really helpful. And yeah, we're on Twitter and fucking Twitch and stuff as well. Bye.
Yeah, we need to fucking actually stream something.
No, we don't. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
It's shorted out, sir. We're gonna have to phaser it.
Then what are you waiting for?
Right away, sir.
Faster would be better, Ensign.
I can't, sir. We don't want to...
That's enough.
But, sir...
Stand aside, Carlton. I'm going through. You're alive. Good.